Okay, guys, Arsenal 3, Newcastle 0. So, thought we were going to talk about this game and the defeat that we had yesterday and the reaction to Steve Bruce's comments. So, I'm going to talk about Steve Bruce's comments to start with, and then I'm going to name the 5 players basically who should not be playing again this year, in my opinion, or should be completely dropped. But we'll start with his comments. So, starting off with. This is what he said to Sky. In the first half, we got ourselves in decent positions. I would say Almiron got him into one decent position and couldn't take advantage of it. I mean, like I said, in my opinion, we had one real good run from Almiron. I didn't see that coming to be tuned down within an hour. I think we all saw it coming. Steve Bruce might have not. We've been caught just after half-time high up the pitch. Maybe because you played Shelvey and Longstaff in midfield, and it was obvious that Smith Rowe was just going to wait behind them and just exploit that space. He then says, we're having a difficult moment at the moment. They're a little bit of confident ebbs away, and we're having a difficult run. So when he says a difficult run, no win in 9. And the only way to make it right is to keep working away at it and hope that results change and bring that confidence back. I mean, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and staying with Steve Bruce, saying the same stuff over and over again is not going to change anything. He then said, we were trying to get people in the box. I don't really see that. I think Wilson was hardly ever in the box. Andy Carroll was so annoyed. He's a shadow of the player that he was, but he looked generally annoyed. He then implies, this is why we've probably been deep in the past, to avoid situations like that. For me, when he says that, he is implying that the fans were the ones who want us to be more attacking, more open. No, you should have created a system. You've been here over a year, which means we don't have to sit 10 men behind the ball in every single game. I don't even mind putting 10 men behind the ball at Arsenal away. I have an issue putting 10 men behind the ball Sheffield United away. He then says it's getting that balance right, and unfortunately throwing bodies forward to try and score a goal to win a match and one pass, and we've been punished. No, you've been punished because you picked the wrong team and you don't have a system, so the players have no idea. He then says on the formation, we've played 4-4-2 a lot this season, we've got the ability to change. I mean, when he says this, we've got the ability to change, like, what is he talking about? We are losing every match. We are the worst team in the Premier League. We played with 2 strikers, and in the 5 games we've won, we've played with 2 strikers. Yeah, I mean, I just find that strange. Then why didn't you play 4-4-2 all season? He then says, we'll have a look at continuing with it. The one thing we have to do to win a match is to score a goal, and unfortunately at the minute we've defended well, but we need to be a bit more creative in the final third. Again, we've defended well. We just lost 3-0. We've conceded 3 goals. We conceded to Sheffield United, who hardly score at all. We're missing arguably our best player in that respect, but hopefully his return will give us something going forward. I mean, I like this praise of St. Maxim because he's the best player, but this is the guy he drags off. Substitutes always at 70 minutes. If he's your best player, you're not subbing him. It's just nonsense. On comparisons to Sheffield United, it was a big improvement in the first half, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, it was okay, but I don't feel we were causing Arsenal all these problems that he's implying. We weren't good enough in the first half against Sheffield United, although I have to say with 10 men we were beaten with a dubious penalty. We were beaten, and we should have, Darlow kept us in that match, and the reason we got sent off was because the player was so frustrated with the lack of possession against a crap team in Sheffield United. A lot has been written about it. I've seen more improvements today, especially in the first half. What improvements? Did Bernd Leno have anything to do? I was watching Arsenal Fan TV's reaction, and they were saying, it didn't even matter if Leno was playing because we offered absolutely nothing. I was just fed up. Bruce on a tough run. If you're in the bottom half, you're going to have tough moments. You're going to go through runs like we're on at the moment. Yeah, but the reason we're in the bottom half is because you have no system, the players have no idea, and they're not playing for you, and you're picking strange teams. I mean, those are the main comments. I literally just feel firstly, I don't want to get personal with Steve Bruce. I don't like, when people talk about his appearance, call him cabbage, insult him, say stupid. I don't want to get. I just think he's out of. He's not a modern day manager. He doesn't have a system. We don't really have a style of play. I don't think he understands how to construct chances anymore. His idea is just push people forward, push people forward. Football has become more tactical. Those days were probably in the early 2000s. Football has moved on, and he has not moved with it. The other issue I have is fine. You failed at Villa. You failed at Sunderland. Change your backroom staff. Bring in someone who can work on tactics. Stop using Steve Agnew and Steve Clements with you all the time. You've not done well. You were sacked by Aston Villa. You were sacked by Sunderland. Just change it. Do something different. I feel like his idea of his tactical change was saying, "Oh, look, fans, I'm listening to you. I'm playing more attacking players." When still, for me, there was no reason why Hayden should be playing in that middle against Arsenal. We left so much room for Smith Rowe to exploit that obviously he was going to run ragged because we had Shelby, who is the most non-disciplined midfielder, and we have Matty Longstaff. And I'm not saying those two. I would have played them. But I would have played them with Hayden. I would have protected a bit, and then got Almiron and another winger forward. But at the moment, just ridiculous. Really, really bad. I just feel as well, everything he says, we are just getting annoyed because we do not trust him, we do not believe him. We're fed up of excuses, we don't feel he has a plan, and we kind of know he's not good enough for this job anymore. And when you have all those things together, then it's time to go. He needs to go because I was looking, we sacked Steve McLaren at 28 games last time, and the reason when we sacked him, it was too late for Rafa to come in. I really do believe that. I think if Rafa had come in now, say at 19 games, then we would have stayed up that season. And it would have made a huge difference, really, in the grand scheme. We'd probably be in the same position now as we are. But, learn from it. For Mike Ashley, I read today that Steve Bruce's payoff is 1.5 million. I know that Mike Ashley has obviously suffered with coronavirus. I know that obviously most of his shops are on the high street. The high street has been completely devastated by this pandemic and, money. But if we get relegated, he's going to have to, do what he's done for the last few years and bring us back up. And I just feel that 1.5 million now could save him a lot of money. Anyone is better than Steve Bruce at the moment. We're on a downward trajectory. He has no idea. If I was seeing things in the game where I was like, I can see where he's coming from. I can see the style of play. But I can't. And I know we're just going to keep going down. We've got Villa next. Grealish against our midfield. He will run ragged. Then we've got Leeds, and then I think it's Everton. We're not picking up points with Steve Bruce. If you change the manager, you never know. You might see a little bit of a lift. Tried effort. Maybe bring in a couple of players. There's still a few days left in January. But just sticking with this is just ridiculous. So I'm going to name the 5 players who I just feel were the worst players against Arsenal. So 1, Emil Kraft. Why is Emil Kraft at Newcastle United? He has got to go down as one of the worst Premier League signings for us. £6 million for a player at Amiens. He is our 3rd best right back. 3rd. I would say 4th. I'd rather have Hayden play at right back than Kraft. He doesn't offer anything defensively. The way he was trudging back for the second goal, he got in positions to cross. Again, was very poor. I do not rate him. I've not rated him. I feel he's a terrible footballer. I think I would rather Yedlin Manquillo over him all the time. Stop playing him. And also, I feel sorry for the guy sometimes because he drops him for 2-3 months, brings him in for a game. The guy looks out of sorts and then drops him again. Just leave him. Just go with Yedlin Manquillo now because right back is our weakest spot if we're all honest. But yeah, Emil Kraft got to go down as our worst signings. Sweden are not the team they were if he was the Swedish international. Okay, next, Jamal Lewis. He is £15 million. When we paid £15 million before, we got Alan Shearer. £15 million now by Jamal Lewis. Norwich were one of the worst defensive teams in the Premier League last year. Okay? I honestly believe that we have signed him because he was linked with Liverpool. I do not understand the deal. Because watching him, I do not see him imposing himself on the game. Yeah, he's lost confidence. But even when we played Brentford, you know, he was atrocious. He's not a good footballer. I would have rather played Dummett at left back or Matt Ritchie at wing back. Lewis is completely... He needs to be taken out and then maybe slowly brought back in. But he is completely shot for confidence. You know, I think it gets shown. You know, he's just had a season where he's been relegated. And this is the thing when you buy players who've been like the likes of, you know, Hendrick, who's always, you know, been down below, Jamal Lewis, Fraser, Wilson, they get into a mentality of losing. And I think for Lewis, he's gone from Norwich, where he was losing every week, to come to us, and we're losing every week. So he's probably struggling for confidence. The other player, I have to say, who was awful was John Joe Shelby. I love John Joe Shelby. I think he's a brilliant footballer, but he's not the same footballer that we saw in 2018. He is a shadow of himself. His corner were atrocious. His delivery is atrocious. You know, I think he's lost his way. I don't know whether it was being when he was playing really well, not being seen for England, whether he misses Rafa, whether it's the team not being set up. I don't trust him as well, playing in a two. He doesn't run enough. He doesn't spread the play enough. He's not dictating the game. He used to really take the game by the scruff of the neck. Maybe he's fed up of being behind the ball, but he's really gone, you know, he's not even a goal threat. Like, before you'd have shots, you know, his delivery was good, and he was trying to dictate, trying to get the players going. He's completely gone from that. He's a shadow of the player. You know, I would say that was definitely one of the worst players. Definitely one of the worst players. I'm going to say Lascelles. I feel with Lascelles that he is at the moment our worst centre-back. I would say Clark, Fernandez and Shaw are better than him. I'd probably say if Dummett's fit, he's better. Lascelles has lost his way, let's be honest. He was a great player again, 2018 under Rafa. He is vocal, and obviously he sees himself as a captain and everything, but he is not the player he was. And I don't know whether he needs the captain to be removed from him, because at the moment he is not playing well at all. And I think this has been going on since Steve Bruce became manager. I really think he misses Rafa's tactical defensive organisation. Maybe his defensive organisation enhanced Lascelles' ability, but he has really, really lost his way. He's our worst centre-back at the moment. And, you know, last year when we played Arsenal, Lascelles had an awful game in the Arsenal away game and we lost 4-0. But now he is completely gone. And I think he should consider... I don't know who would be captain. Probably I'd give it to Isaac Hayden. But Lascelles just should not be captain at the moment. He's playing so badly. He needs to get his form back. And he needs to be dropped, to be honest. I would play Clark or Shah in that position, because Lascelles is completely gone. And then the other player is our 40 million flop. I think he's actually the worst. Been thinking about it. I think he's the worst Premier League signing ever. I think for £40 million, I think him and Danny Drinkwater, because Danny Drinkwater's done nothing for 35 million for Chelsea. But for £40 million to buy a guy who's meant to come in and be your number 9, who's Brazilian, and for what we've got from him, he literally offers nothing. He has he's just not good enough. He sometimes does a little good move where he goes past someone and then he falls over. He doesn't look comfortable striking the ball. He goes missing. He costs £40 million. We need to get rid. We're not gonna make any money back from him. We need to accept that he is a flop. It's not going to happen for him. We have tried. It's not because of Steve Bruce. It's because he's not a very good footballer. Nobody wanted to pay 40 million for him. No one. We did, and that is that. But we have to accept now that this experiment with him it's been a failure. I'm annoyed because Mike Ashley would never spend that amount of money, and we have spent it on this guy who is atrocious. He's the worst footballer, and we have to accept that he's going to go down as one of the Premier League's worst signings, and that's just what's happened. We have to learn from it. Bring in someone else. I don't care. I'd rather Gale play. I just don't want to see him in the team anymore. Steve Bruce needs to be strong and just drop him now and just say, like, you're not good enough. I'm sorry. Play Richie, play Fraser when he's back, play anyone. Just do not play Joe Linton. He's not going to offer anything. You know, we need St. Maximin back as soon as possible. But Joe Linton, we just need to just forget now. We need to accept. Loan him out, do whatever. He's on a ridiculous wage. I don't know, but you're not going to make any money on him. He is atrocious. We've tried. We've given him chance after chance. Played him at number 9, played him wide on the left, played him wide on the right, given him a break from the team, dropped him, done it, whatever. He's not going to come good. He's not good enough. If he struck the ball cleanly, I would say, yeah, give him a chance. He does not strike the ball cleanly. He does not go past people. He's not particularly quick. He is not good enough. Accept it, move on, let's just leave it. I would respect Steve Bruce if he just said, look, this move's not worked out. I don't think he's good enough. But that's the problem. Steve Bruce won't do that because he's not strong enough, and he can't. He's Ashley's puppet, and we have to accept that we made a mistake with this player, and we just need to forget it and move on because he's atrocious. So let me know the 5 players. So those 5 players, I just do not want. I'm so disappointed in, and I would like to see them dropped. Tell me the 5 players you would definitely drop for the Villa game, and what you think of Steve Bruce's comments. Thank you very much.